morning, guys. Welcome to your Monday reading for July 13th. I had to cheat. Monday, July 13th. We're going to go ahead and go with our typical format. We're going to start with our air signs and go to our water signs, then to our fire and earth signs, and each sign gets a card. So I hope you guys have been doing well this weekend. So we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for the 13th of July, Monday, for all signs, anything that they need to know, anything of utmost importance. I ask that comes to the forefront in this here reading. Spirit is always a thinking advance because I'm really good for it. No chance. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you guys on this beautiful Monday. Starting off with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, then Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, then Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So for my Geminis, I'll read these in the reverse. We have the Source card. So Gemini, on this wonderful Monday, and I would even say for the rest of the week, because I look at the energies that come out on Mondays as a precursor for the week, if you will. So the thing that's going to be important for you guys during today as well as this week is being aware of where it is that your power comes from. If we want to be very literal about this, we're talking about your inner sanctum, we're talking about your heart space, we're talking about your connection to source. Another thing that's going to be of utmost importance today is allowing yourself to enter flow. Those of you who don't know what that is, it's pretty much when you get into that vibe, when you're doing something. Sometimes it happens accidentally when you wash dishes and things of the sort, when you just kind of like zone out and things are just flowing. It's not you fighting the river. It's not forcing the thought to come. It's not forcing the inspiration. It's just allowing, right? So it's more or less saying to pay attention to those times when you kind of zone out. A lot of other times this can happen too, is when you're driving to work or, any mundane task. But the most important key point here is the awareness of when you tap into that space, and those of you who aren't aware when you tap in that space is getting clear of when you do or how to do so, because that's your source of strength. I feel with this, if I were to pry a little bit and say why this would be coming up for you guys, it's coming from a place of anxiety and worry. So it's a lot of a desire to control situations, circumstances that you're in, a lot of ruminating thoughts, trying to figure things out. But the things I feel you guys stress about a lot are things that are out of your control. And there's a need to more or less allow, because I think that resistance is kind of causing more trouble for you guys, whether it's today or this week, or if that kind of taps into a bigger fold where that's like, an issue you guys have dealt with for some time. So the key is more or less chill out, Gemini. I'm just saying. Moving right along to my Libras. You guys have the experiencing card. I love how this always interconnects. Okay, so Libras, the thing that's going to be really important for you guys today, and I feel like this has come up for you guys before, is mindfulness, being present, and being aware in the moment, right? Not allowing your thoughts to run away with you, not allowing yourself to worry about the future or tomorrow. This is more or less saying that today, as well as this week, that you guys want to challenge yourself to be present in the moment. Enjoy the things that are around you. Enjoy the people that are around you. We can even throw in a little bit of gratitude exercises, if we will, So it's more or less being thankful for who you are, where you are, and what you're doing in this moment today, right? Allowing yourself to fully infuse yourself into whatever it is that you're doing at this moment. And I can't help but feel hella deja vu, because I really feel like I've said this to you guys before. So I don't know what happened this weekend that has y'all a little discombobulated today. but it's important to plan for the future, but enjoy the present is the most important takeaway for Libras on today. Now for my Aquariuses, whoa, we have the Mind card. So my Aquarius people, I feel like on today, which is the whole theme for water signs, is your mind running away with you. It's trying to solve the same problem with the same mind that created it. And this is something that came up for you guys, I want to say, on either Wednesday of last week or Thursday of last week. And I talked about, I think you guys had like the Page of Cups or something like that. And I was saying the importance of daydreaming. The reason for that is because it gets you out of your head. So I feel the whole reason why that card came up for you guys before and why I'm saying this now is because today it's something you guys are grappling with and something that you're trying to figure out. And I can say that for all of the air signs, the solution to your problem exists in the most, how can I say it? Counterintuitive place, if you will. The thought is whenever we have a problem or an issue or a challenge, the thought would be, let me try to find a solution. Well, if you're trying to find a solution and you can't find one, then you do what's counterintuitive. And this gets into metaphysics and, energy work and things of the sort. But the quickest way to solve an energetic issue, which in a lot of times our thoughts are, is to do the polar opposite. So as opposed to drilling it in the ground and trying to figure out, go do something that you enjoy, right? Do something that makes you smile, or go watch a, rom-com or a stand-up comedian, and something that's going to make you laugh. It seems completely counterintuitive, but I assure you, my Aquarius friend, it works. So on today, if you guys find yourself in a mind-binding situation trying to figure something out and you just can't seem to get to the solution, do the polar opposite. Walk away from it, leave it alone, and do something that you actually enjoy on today and throughout this week. So my water signs, Cancer, you guys have a ripeness. So Cancer, you're ready on today, my friend. I feel with Cancer specifically, up until today, there may have been something where you guys were either in a contemplative state on when to act on something or when the time was right or whatever. But I feel today is that day. And even if you guys don't wake up or watch this feeling so, I feel that this wave is going to hit you, or something's going to come onto you guys' path on today that's going to make that very clear and very apparent for you that now is the time to act. For those of you who may not feel this vibe, right? Or you're like, how do I know? Don't worry about it. And I mean that because I always say air signs are always setting the tone for the rest of us. Just like with them trying to figure out, like, well, how do I know that it's the right time? Is it morning time? Is it lunchtime? Is it afternoon? How do I know? Don't worry about it, Cancer, because I feel it's going to be very clear and apparent to you guys. So I've seen themes in Cancer's reading all last week of this, pulling away from everyone and, contemplation and all that good stuff. But I can tell you guys that the roundabout of that is today. I feel today it's going to become very clear to you guys when to act, how to act. And I feel things, and this may sound a little whimsical, but I feel things are really going to fall into place for you guys on today. And the time that you took to kind of take a step back and think things through and, get clear on what you were doing or why, that's really going to bear fruit and pay off on today, my friend. So for my Pisces people that I love so much, transformation. Yes. Okay. Pisces, this makes me think about you guys' weekend reading. Yes. You guys' weekend reading, because for the weekend, Pisces, I don't want to give it away, but for Pisces reading over the weekend, it was all about transformation. So for you guys, and this is a very specific message, Pisces. We click like that, so tell them don't be jealous. I'm just saying. Anywho, but for Pisces, I feel for you guys, and this is going to be so weird sounding. Maybe y'all might just get me. But it's almost like all of this stuff that y'all have been through that has seemed like so crappy and so bad. And it's almost like things getting to the absolute worst they could have ever possibly gotten. Much like how it is for Cancer, where it's just like, oh, I know what to do now. It's like for you guys, it's almost going to be being thankful for stuff getting so bad up to this point, because it's almost like a switch where it's like, yo, so I was complaining about how sucky things have been, but I am so glad that that stuff has been so bad, because it's a transition for you guys. It's almost like, dude, I really feel like I'm digging in y'all's business, and I'm trying not to make this the Pisces show right now. But legit Pisces, it's almost like being hard-headed like a Taurus is. You know what I mean? It's almost like spirit like pummeling you for you to finally like get it. But it's like now, I can't even say today, like this weekend, y'all got it, right? You're just like, you know what? Bump this, I'm good. You know what I mean? And it's being at this point now where the moment that you accepted, the moment that you released, the moment that you let go and you just allowed, right? That's when everything switched. So I feel for you guys on today, this is just another reinforcer of this fresh new energy and this cycle culmination for you guys coming in on today. So it's more or less keeping the mindset on today that everything that's happening, no matter how it's happening or what it looks like, is working in your highest good and in your favor, right? Whatever it is that you've known to be life up to this point, it's nullified, it's a done deal. Everything that has ended since last week up until now, it's supposed to be gone. So it's nothing to cry over. It's more or less allowing yourself to enjoy the beauty of this new beginning that is in your face, Pisces. I can't even say like upon you. I was gonna say it in a very poetic way, but it's in your face. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, moving on to my Scorpios. Oh, Scorpio, what is happening in America? You guys have the suppression card. Pisces, Scorpio, I'm so sorry, Scorpio. I did not mean to call you Pisces. I just talked to them. I apologize. Moving right along. But Scorpios, on today, on some level or another, there may be something that you guys have been kind of pushing down. I want to tell you guys, especially like at work or with people that you care about, to kind of guard against passive aggressive speech. You know what I mean? Because there's the potential on today for you guys to end up taking out something that has nothing to do with people you care about or people you work with. It's like taking something out on them that you guys are grappling with. And I say this because how I'm seeing this intuitively is like, I'm seeing a person like chewing like on jerky, right? So it's just kind of like you're gnawing on something, trying to work it down so that you can swallow it and digest it. You know what I mean? But y'all are still in that breakdown process. And I know my Scorpio people, you guys like to get clear on things before you really speak to other people about it. But I feel because energetically, y'all are kind of at this pinnacle, you know what I mean? Or even if it's something that you've been wanting to say to someone and you haven't quite found the right words yet, in the meantime, in between time, it can come off as rather passive aggressive. So I just want to make you guys cognizant of that, so you're cautious in your communication with people on today. For others of you, this is more or less, you're just doing way too much. It's like you're trying to be in too many places at once. You're trying to be too many people for too many different people. And it's the potential that today, Scorpio, you guys can kind of reach your breaking point. So I say all of that to say, just take it easy on today on yourself, and just be cognizant when you're communicating with people on today, because I feel that, you know, you're not doing this intentionally. You're not going to mean to hurt people. It just may end up coming off wrong because you guys have, I think I just spit a little. You guys have a lot going on right now. So just be aware of that on today. Now, for my fire sign people, my Leos, Aw, you guys have We Are the World. So, Leo, on today, I love how this is happening for everyone. Like, this is all like cycles ending, present in the moment. It's almost like you think about a fireworks show, you know? And if you're kind of like in your cell phone or caught up in a conversation, you could miss something beautiful. That's kind of the vibe that I get here. So for my Leos, I feel like today is it's a completion day for you guys as well. It's the potential of you really feeling almost like, you know, I did it on today. I feel that this is more related to, and this could literally be something as mundane as like, I don't know, like house stuff, like I don't know if y'all are doing the KonMari method or something like that, organizing your clothes or organizing papers or trying to save money or something along those lines, like saving an emergency fund or something. It's like today is the day that you guys realize that the work that you've put into something is finally worth it. So it's a sense of fulfillment that you guys feel, but I feel that it's related to something very kind of 3D-ish. For others of you, this could literally be something work related, whether it's a project that you're working on with coworkers or connecting with people on, how can I say it? It's like, I don't want to say like on a mundane level. It's like, because I mean, it could be something that simple where it's somebody that you know or somebody that you work with and finding out you guys have something in common, but it could be something super small. And it makes me think of my best friend. I'm not gonna lie, she's a Scorpio, but the way her and I met when we were kids was over Hello Kitty, because both of us our entire lives have had this really crazy obsession with Hello Kitty stuff. And like, you know, back in the day there wasn't the internet and all of that. So it's like Sanrio was like the store, but like, you know, she's Filipino, so it's like her mom would like get stuff when she goes to the Philippines, so we would always have like the cool latest Hello Kitty stuff. But long story short, her and I met each other in school when we were kids because my backpack was half open and she sat behind me and she looked and she's like, is that a Hello Kitty folder? And I was like, yeah, I love Hello Kitty. And she's like, me too. And then like we've been best friends ever since then. So I feel it's something like that. Like when I say mundane, I mean, it could be the simplest thing as seeing like a Hello Kitty folder and realizing that something that's really important to you, that someone that has been in your vicinity or someone that you work with has that same thing, and that ends up becoming a bonding agent. And for some of you, I feel like that's kind of a missing piece to your life in some sense or another. For others of you, it's either working with a group and completing something, or it's just you guys reaching this level of, wow, I did it type of deal. But it feels like a sense of you not planning on that happening. So an example of that would kind of be like checking your bank account. Like you've been working really hard to save this $1,000 emergency fund. You just so happen to check your bank account and holy crap, like you've hit $1,000. So it's like, oh my gosh, wow. And it's feeling like that sense of pride at the fact that you got so caught in a routine of something positive that you successfully changed a behavior, in so many words. Next, we have my Aries people, and you guys have the silence card. So Aries, for you guys on today, I feel like this is going to be a very reflective and contemplative day for you all. And it's almost like, how can I say it? Asking yourself if it's worth it, Aries. If somebody tests your gangster on today, it's like taking a moment, taking a step back and asking yourself, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Is it really worth my time? Is it really worth my energy? You know, because it feels like for me on today, there's the potential that you guys could, you know, flash out. You know what I mean? There might be somebody who tries to pick an argument with you. You know what I'm saying? You might work with a Scorpio. They might say something that's a little side-handed. You got to step back and ask yourself, do I really want to flash out on him right now? Is it worth my time, Aries self? You know, I feel like it would be in your best interest to do that on today. So I feel for you guys today, Aries, It's a little bit of an element of a hairpin trigger. I have an Aries dead and I have an Aries sun. So, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, but I feel on today that's a little heightened. So the thing that's going to benefit you guys is kind of taking a page out the air signs book is to allow yourself to step out of your mind, to step out of your feelings, to step out of that urge you have to react, right? And allow yourself to step back to respond. For others of you, I just think it would be very beneficial to you, regardless of how far you guys are into the day at this point, to just take 5, 10, 15 minutes out to just sit in silence, to collect yourself. Because I get this sense of just running. And the thing I just heard now is feeling the need to stand your ground and stand up for yourself, you know? But kind of like what I did say for Scorpio too, I feel for you guys, it can be misdirected, you know? It's like energetically, everything feels like, you know, fight for your rights, stand up for yourself. And I feel like that has something to do with something back here somewhere, and back here somewhere for me could mean this weekend. It could mean last week. And I heard something else. Some of y'all are quitting smoking. Okay. I mean, I used to smoke Aries like cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes for a very long time. And when you try to quit nicotine, it make you want to pop off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, okay? So it would behoove you guys to just take a step back and breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels like something that you guys initiated prior to today for some of you, and that's left you vulnerable today. And it's almost like the wrong person. That's why it's like, I'm sorry, Scorpio, I don't mean to pick on y'all, but it's like the wrong person could say the wrong thing at the right time and you might click out. So my advice is just take a breath. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, so for my Sagittarius, you guys have control. So 2 things, Sagittarius. One thing today, it's going to be imperative for you guys, like I said with Aries, to utilize some self-control. Because I feel for you guys, there may be that sense of what I talked about with Aries, where you guys may want to kind of pop off a little bit. You know what I mean? But again, take a step back, breathe, chill, get out of your head. Make sure that how you're responding to something is from the right place and you're not jumping to any conclusions, right? Or even if this is being on a diet, Sag, I don't know where all these messages coming from. Being on a diet and today you feel a temptation and a weak point, it's important to implement self-control. Another thing I feel with this, another group of people, this would be like control freak kind of energy. Like meaning that something isn't panning out the way that you wanted or you desired it to. And it's making sure you guard against not trying to control other people, right? Because I feel the vulnerable point for you guys on today is for some of you feeling out of control and being reactionary out of being out of control of a situation, and for others of you is being out of control and trying to dominate a situation. So my advice with this would be to dig a little deeper. So meaning in the sense of, why does being out of control worry you so much? Like, what is the root of why that really bothers you to not be in control of a situation, right? Like, what fear is that provoking for you, you know? So that would be an important thing to contemplate on today, my Sagittarius. On to my earth signs, Capricorn, you guys have the guilt card. Y'all are vibing with the air signs too, Cappy. I feel on today, something can trigger my Capricorns to where you guys get stuck in a thought reel that brings you back to your past. It's a lot of elements of regret or feeling stuck, bound in a situation, not being able to get out. But the thing I have to stress, Capricorn, is this is all in your head. It's a lot of proverbial demons from your past that are kind of rising up, right? So the important thing for you guys, I would say, if you didn't watch the air signs, I would just watch them just to, give you some more context. But the whole important thing is to do what's counterintuitive, which is stepping outside of yourself and doing something totally different, right? Because I feel why this is coming up for you guys is because you can end up acting without thinking, right? And doing something to, how do I want to say that? Like counterbalance or something in reaction or retaliation to something that's going on in your mind. So it's kind of almost like, an example would be if you think you said something wrong, right? And a person who usually, I don't know, texts you every morning didn't text you today. And you're like, oh, it's because I said this thing. So now everything you do from this point forward is in a reaction to what you think they're doing, and would end up being interpreted as an overreaction to the person, because it would be like, why are they doing all of this? You know what I mean? It's kind of like sending, a book apology to somebody, and literally the person's phone malfunctioned that morning. And then when they get it, it's kind of like, huh? Because they're not even thinking about what it is that you think it is that you did. And now they're looking at you like, why are you being so extra right now? You know what I'm saying? So I feel with this, there's deeper roots to that. I don't necessarily feel that it's related to this conversation. However, I would feel what would behoove you guys if you find this comes up on today is kind of doing some self-reflection on why it is you have the tendency to self-blame so much. Why do you take on so much responsibility of things always being your fault, or thinking it's always something that you've done when, a person doesn't call you back, or, you feel like somebody's acting kind of funny? Why is it that your first reaction is always thinking it's something that you did? Because I feel like there's valuable information in there for you guys. Now, for my Taurus people on today, we have exhaustion. Taurus, I forewarned you about this in your July reading. Listen to your friend Princess. I'm just saying, Taurus, I feel like you guys are doing way too much, right? And I feel like you guys on today, and it's similar to what I said with Scorpio, it's doing a lot of stuff that you don't have to do. It's like taking a lot of false responsibility. It's having a to-do list, right? And I said this to my Couture Soul group, I think the week before last, or last week, I can't really remember. I said, don't put off until tomorrow what can be done today. It's like someone who takes that to heart goes full gusto with it, right? It's like trying to slay your entire week-long to-do list in a day, right? And it's getting to the point where you're exhausted, right? And now is a time, astrologically speaking, where Taurians have to be conscious about their health, right? So if we push ourselves a little too much during this time, we can quite easily see the effects of that very soon, sooner than we would have liked. So there's a need to take it easy on today, because I feel starting the day, Taurus, it's an element of like waking up and not feeling rested, regardless of how long it is that you slept. God forbid if you've only slept a couple of hours or something, and still trying to go at the day full force as if you've had a full night rest, So I think what's important on today is not saying call out. Princess is not going to tell you to call out on your job, you know what I'm saying? But it's just taking it easy on yourself, because I feel a lot of what it is that you guys are doing, they're not necessarily priorities. Some of them may be, but they don't all have to be done at once. So it's almost trying to work at 110%, right? So it's pushing yourself past your limits. And another thing about this is, like I said with Capricorn, it's an irrational fear. I feel that you guys are doing so much, you're pushing yourself so hard because you're trying to, like I said, they're reacting to something that may not even be happening. I feel the same way for you guys. It's like you're trying to guard against some perceived fear and trying to be on guard for that. So the thought is, if I go 110%, then if, I get kickback 10%, then I still have 100. But the thing I feel like you guys aren't seeing, and you may start to see the effects in your body on today with that, is you're doing too much and you're pushing yourself well beyond your human limits. So, hashtag self-care, just saying. Moving right along. Lastly, to my Virgos. Virgos, you guys have the Harmony card. So on today for my Virgo people, I feel that there's a sense of completion with you guys as well. It's almost going to come in the form of maybe an instant inspiration, like an aha moment, or kind of realizing being in a situation you guys have been in before, right? And noticing that you didn't react to people the way that you usually do in said situations, but it's having a sense of clarity and peace of how it is that you guys want to move forward. But I feel that it's gonna come, and who else was that Leo I said that with? Almost as like a shock, you know what I mean? Like how I said with, that was Leo. How I said with Leo, how they're, building to try to save this emergency fund, and they just so happen to check their account and it's like, oh my gosh, I have, I hit the $1,000, right? I feel that same energy for you guys, where it's going to be like a surprise, like something that you didn't expect. But I do feel it's something that you guys have either been manifesting, something that you've been desiring, or something that you're calling in. But the whole thing that was the block to that, and I don't know why my energy is wanting to go to you guys' weekend reading. Why can't I remember what card you guys had? I can't remember what card you guys had for the weekend reading. But I feel like it has something to do with that. Like, it's something that you guys called in, it's something that you wanted, and it's almost like, because with the whole block thing, it's almost like the thing that was blocking you guys got that split second awareness of what has been holding you back all this time. And it's like, oh, right? So it's almost like taking a step in that direction. And that's like this weekend coming into Monday. And Monday is like spirit giving you some type of sign, synchronicity, or omen feeling, something like that. That's confirmation of what it is you guys realized and chose to turn away from over this weekend, if that's making sense. I'm hoping that that's making sense. But overall, I would say for my Virgos, it's going to be a pretty good day. I don't really feel too much today that you guys are going to be able to, I don't think anyone's going to be able to take you guys kind of like off of your, I don't want to say pedestal, but it's like take you out of character or off your, I don't know, swag or something on today, because I feel that you guys are going to feel so much of a sense of well-being and optimism on today that nothing's going to be able to really get you down. But I feel the most important takeaway from my Virgos on today, and extending that out into this week, is the fact that you did this, right? This isn't happenstance, this isn't chance, this isn't luck. It's just you guys are experiencing or receiving what it is that you're receiving on today because of the work that you've done, and you deserve to know that, and you should very much embrace that, my wonderful Virgos. So that has been your reading, guys, for Monday the 13th. I hope that this helps. I hope it's valuable insight for you guys on today. I love your faces, and I will see you guys again on tomorrow. See you later.